Tonight,
we're at the very preliminary stages of a design-build procurement process.
the ball is officially rolling on the city's wastewater treatment plant project. Plus,
it's so important that the community and the business community can sit down together, talk about things, and come away with benefits.
a positive atmosphere at the annual Business Education Conference in the border city, and understanding Islam. The local Ahmidiyya Muslim community participated in the nationwide campaign that teaches people about their religion.
This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with reports of an explosion at the Syncrude oil site north of Fort McMurray this afternoon. Apparently, workers at the Mildred Lake Upgrader saw the gas line rupture and made a run for it not long before the explosion happened. Now there's a fire in the base mine. Reports say it's been contained. Buses are taking some workers away from the site and many vehicles can be seen leaving the plant area as well. Police can't confirm a cause and AHS says one employee is in serious but stable condition. And we're now getting a better idea of the city's plan for the $80 million wastewater treatment plant project. The ball rolling a little further during Monday's meeting as council hired on an owner's engineer. But as City Hall reporter Adam McVicker explains, there's still concern over how they plan to pay for it.
We're at the very preliminary stages of a design-build procurement process.
After months of discussions in City Hall, we're getting a clearer picture of just how much has been done and what's coming down the pipe with Lloydminster's wastewater treatment plant project. In an effort to save time, the project will be completed using a design-as-you-build method.
The engineer will come forward with a building and a basic design, but what actually goes into that building and exactly what all those pieces look like, that will come as we're going through the building process.
As a result, the city hiring ISL Engineering and Land Services to be the project's owner's engineer, acting as a consultant.
Procuring or at least pre-qualifying design-build proponents that can bring forward their proposals and again, shortlisting those qualified design builders.
Those proposals could see the project's cost change.
We're hoping that the costs will go down in this process, but you never know.
A timeline released on Monday shows design to begin this summer with a desire to award the project to a builder later in the fall. But city officials are keeping an eye on June 15th, the deadline for the project's funding to be in place.
We do not have the money or the resources to borrow the entire cost. So we do need to get to a point, keep the project moving. That's what we've shared with the government.
But some councillors are concerned the city's lack of action to this point could affect that funding.
Governments say that they're looking at projects that are ready to move forward. When you say shovel ready, that means they're ready to start today, not start the design stage. So I think it's really important that we get that done.
Mayor Albert says he'll know more about the project's funding when the provincial and federal budgets are tabled throughout the month of March. Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
The 17th Business Education Conference in Lloydminster brought entrepreneurs and business owners from around the region together to discuss the strengths and struggles of the local economy. Among the panelists was Managing Director of National Bank Financial Angus Watt, who shed some light on the state of the Albertan and Saskatchewan economies. Gina Martin reports.
Entrepreneurship, business management, and marketing were just some of the items discussed at this year's Business Education Conference. Every year, the Chamber of Commerce teams up with other local organizations and agencies to bring the business community together for a day of discussion and mentorship.
We had a broad perspective of people from the community, business people, entrepreneurs, the banking and finance side of the world, which brought a whole different perspective for people to hear about.
For many in attendance, it was a comfort to know their business wasn't the only one going through hard times.
Definitely listening to the local guys, the local business people talk about their challenges. It definitely makes you feel like you're not alone in your own struggles with your people and with the business in these slower times.
It's so important that the community and the business community can sit down together, talk about things, and come away with benefits.
The conference wrapped up with keynote speaker Angus Watt with National Bank Financial, who was impressed with the variety of business in attendance.
They really covered a lot of bases, right? And I thought that it had a great cross-section. You know, you had some people who were just getting started, some people that had a fourth-generation business.
His presentation covered everything from Alberta's somewhat misleading unemployment rate to the impacts of a Trump presidency. For the mayor, the biggest thing he took away was the fact Alberta could be seeing some growth this year.
I think all the signs that we continue to see talk about the economy is coming back a little bit. Is it going to be fast enough for everybody? I'm sure it isn't. There's challenges in the community yet and within homes.
Good or bad, Watt finds positivity runs strong in the communities he speaks to.
I always get the opportunity of speaking with optimistic people. People have had a grind, but it's great when someone like Lloydminster says, hey, come on out and share with us. And we've had some great panelists today. Absolutely great.
Gina Martin, Newcap News.
The local Ahmidiyya Muslim community held an open house last night to give people an opportunity to learn more about their faith. It's part of a nationwide campaign called Islam Understood, where imams across Canada are answering any questions the public may have about the religion.
So they can come out and ask questions. We believe it is very necessary to get the right information from the original source rather than rather than listening to what the extremists or the media or certain other people might be saying.
Azim was recently in North Battleford and says the open house drew around 20 people.
People who came, they were very interested in learning about our faith. There were very good engaging conversations throughout the session, and at the end I would have to say the time ran out, otherwise people were very interested and keen to learn a lot more.
By the end of the month, the Ahmidiyya Muslim community hopes to hold at least 100 of these open houses throughout the country. The Wellness Fair returned to Lakeland College for the 4th time, featuring presentations, interactive displays and demonstrations. Angie Mellon with the details.
The halls of Lakeland College were buzzing with students and members of the community, checking out the 40 different booths in this year's Wellness Fair.
It creates awareness, an awareness of what programs, what resources and services that are available to people living in this community.
Students had the chance to check out the displays and find out more about the resources available.
It's not the easiest to get involved sometimes. So if you know there's someone who's here that won't judge you and won't give you that feeling that you're being judged, you're just new or outsider, it's a good feeling to know that there is support and that's available.
Booths focused on all aspects of wellness, including spiritual, physical, mental, and financial. They say it was an opportunity to let students know where they can reach out.
It's a great opportunity to connect with even those that are faculty or those that are just here walking through the halls. And we just let them know that we're available to communicate to other churches where they're at, what events are going on in the community, and provide the spiritual side of the Wellness Fair.
I think it creates more awareness to the community and to the students of what services are available in Lloydminster and area, and where they can access services and talk to people face to face.
The organizers say the Wellness Fair will keep coming back in the years to come. Angie Mellon, Newcap News.
While collecting data is only beneficial if producers can turn that information into evidence-based solutions on the farm. Gerard Lampow finds out how this sentiment is informing decision-making going forward.
The data has value in terms of reducing the cost of production, minimizing the environmental impact.
Shankar Das is a regional business management specialist with the Saskatchewan Ministry of Agriculture. He was speaking to producers in Melfort about data and technology for farms. Apart from reducing costs and minimizing environmental impact, he sees data collection as being beneficial to consumers who want to know where our food comes from, and also allowing producers to develop evidence-based options. For example, combines using GPS technology to generate a yield map showing areas of a field that are more productive.
So next year when they want to do the seeding, they can say, okay, look, this is how we can adjust it, this is how we can manage the seeding, fertilizing, so that we can minimize the cost of production.
Das says the ag industry has various data collection options using the emerging technology. He sees the role of the ministry as connecting producers to the technology.
The Growing Forward funding, can we offer digital literacy training for the farmers?
The labour shortfall in agriculture for Alberta and Saskatchewan was 11,000 as of 2014. That gap is set to increase to 36,000 in the next 8 years. DAS still sees the role that technology can play, even though the human resource will remain a challenge.
There is a transition time going on in terms of that, how much technology can offer so that we can tackle the challenge of the human resources. But human resources is for sure a challenge for our area and for the province for sure.
Gerard Lampau, Newcap News.
Well, we have two special pets up for adoption this week. Ace is a 2-year-old dog, and Wesley is a 1-year-old cat who unfortunately had to have one of his legs amputated, but he hasn't let that slow him down. Here's John from the SPCA.
This gentle giant is Ace, a 2-year-old dog with a heart of gold. Ace just absolutely loves people. Everyone he meets is a friend that he just can't wait to spend some time with. Ace loves the outdoors. He enjoys chasing a ball or just bounding and playing in the snowdrifts. As long as someone is by his side, he's happy as can be. After a long day of playing, Ace turns into the ultimate lapdog. He'll just lean into you for extra pets and cuddles, or just lie next to your feet and take a long nap. Ace is a dog that will definitely win over your heart the minute you meet him. So don't delay. Stop by the SPCA and meet this wonderful dog today. Wesley, a 1-year-old cat, was brought to the SPCA as a stray in late January with a shattered right hind leg. He was immediately taken to the veterinarian and an amputation was scheduled for the very next day. Wesley had a long road to recovery as he adjusted to only 3 legs. Throughout the entire time, Wesley remained in extremely good spirits. He loved nothing more than cuddling up next to someone for lots of pets and would purr like an engine for hours. Now Wesley is available for adoption and can't wait to meet that special family and begin the next chapter of his life. And whoever is lucky enough to adopt him will have a friend for life that will appreciate every moment you share together. Be sure to visit the SPCA and meet this wonderful feline today. You'll be so happy you did.
Well, Lloydminster has had its share of sports teams struggling to not only make the postseason, but succeed in opening rounds. It's also had its share of teams find their winning ways, and Lance Phillips gives us a glimpse into another one of the border city's successful sports stories.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, and the Holy Rosary Raiders senior girls basketball team did just that, blowing out Cold Lake 73-34 in the Northeast Alberta Zone Finals.
The last time we played them, it was in their barn. We weren't playing 100%, and we didn't deserve to win. They deserved to beat us, but I think we turned the tables on them a little bit here and played, I don't want to say our best game, but played as good as we've played all year.
At first, I thought it was going to be a super tight game throughout the whole thing, but I think all of us wanted it so bad, considering we went to their tournament and we did not play too well. We lost. Our confidence went down.
Now that confidence is back and the timing is perfect. The team has earned a spot in the provincial tournament, and expectations differ, with the team ranked 11th of 12 provincially.
Now this week we got to buckle down, got to get ready for it. We're going into it. We know what to expect. It's not going to be easy.
Play well, improve. I don't think any of us really care if we lose super awful as long as we're improving along the way.
After the zone win, the girls were highly emotional, but took time to say thanks in their own way to the best-dressed coach in the league.
Having him guide us through this whole experience has been insane. He's been such a good inspirer for all of us.
Just with the time we invest, it is special. There's a lot of heart and a lot of dedication that goes along with it, and as I said, to be rewarded in your own school with this type of a performance is good.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.